comparison, the river, I think it's the most beautiful stretch of the river. It narrows and it winds around like this little narrow valley called the Hudson Highlands. And it's just breathtaking. And the thing about the river is it just runs pretty north-south. And so because of this river, I always had a constant sense of place. I always knew where I was in relation to the river. I've got a tattoo that's, directional because of this river. And I grew up really with this river in my blood. Also, ironically, I didn't grow up getting near the water, like getting on the water or going in the water, really, very much. So I went away to the University of Vermont, to their environmental college. I knew I wanted to focus on the environment. Through college, I was really focused on politics, and at UVM, I worked for 3 years in the Vermont State House for the House Natural Resources and Energy Committee. So through college, I was getting pumped about politics and the ability for a state like Vermont to solve a lot of problems through that method. And I was pretty excited about that, and also pretty naive about areas where there's more diversity and what that means. I mean, there's not a whole lot of diversity in Vermont. States that are bigger and just up against, and when I say diversity, I mean across the board. Working on the Hill was, I'm going to say, the best opportunity, because for me, it told me that that's not the way I want to go about things. I got really disillusioned working for the House of Representatives, and I was working for Congresswoman Grace Napolitano, so she's from East LA, and she was the chair of the Power and Water Subcommittee within the Natural Resources Committee in the House. So she had a pretty significant role. I mean, she was chairing this water committee, and at the time I wasn't focused on water issues at all. I was, even though I was focused on energy issues, which is so related to water issues, I really wasn't looking at water. So that was an eye-opening experience for me, because I got to learn more about water scarcity and water issues that are happening throughout the country that going to school in Vermont, frankly, we just didn't focus on a lot. But I also felt like I was looking around and watching people that weren't really leading. They were just sort of following. They were just looking at others and seeing what they were doing and making a lot of their decisions based on what other, Congress people were doing and not what their people were asking them to do. So I'm still psyched about state politics, and I think local politics can have a real successful piece of the puzzle as well. But when it came to federal politics, to me, I was just like, it's not where I want to go. I started at Riverkeeper a little bit over 2 years ago now. I thought I would stay for 2 years and then go to law school. I don't think I want to go to law school anymore, but I do think I'm going to stick around here for a couple more years, because we're kind of doing some cool things, and I'm actually feeling really hopeful. And I feel like every day that I work for this organization, I am more and more excited about how many people are starting to come under that umbrella, and really come into the fold. And I think we're on to a good model here at Riverkeeper.